Welcome to another edition of Islanders Insider. I'm Stephen King, and today we're going to be talking some more hoops with Islanders head coaches Willis Wilson and Royce Chadwick. We'll also check in with Islanders baseball with a very unique opportunity they have coming in for them this season. Let's start things off with the head coach of Islanders basketball here in the locker room, Coach Willis Wilson. Coach?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Your team is coming home after picking up a split on the road in Southland Conference play, a 4-point loss at McNeese to start the week, but then finishing things off with a nice 62-56 win over Lamar. You know, overall, from your perspective, a head coach's perspective, how did your team perform?
Progress. I mean, that's the word that comes to mind. We've made tremendous progress. If we start with the McNeese State game, our guys played very, very well. We did a lot of good things. We controlled the tempo of the basketball game, and we really felt like we had McNeese State on the ropes. They went to a spread offense with almost 6-7 minutes to go in the game because they wanted to try to change the tempo, and we just continued to chip away, and we really put a lot of pressure on them. And the truth of the matter, 2-point game with a little more than 9 seconds to go, we just felt like we ran out of time, but played a very, very good basketball. We took that momentum and the things that we've been able to learn in the last 4 or 5 basketball games, and we took that momentum into Lamar, a feisty Lamar team, and a game that was a lot of peaks and valleys. We got out to a nice lead. We knew that they would make a run. We held off their run. They made another run in the second half. We were able to hold it off at the end to seal the victory. And so I feel like our team's making a lot of progress. And the truth of the matter is we need to be in those sorts of situations. We need to be in situations where we've got to come back and capture a lead, or we've got to get out to a lead and be able to hang on to it. You've got to be able to do that before you can get to a point where you can just build a lead one possession at a time and beat people by significant numbers. So we're learning a lot of things on the fly right now, but all the hard work that we put in is starting to pay off for us.
Let me bounce some numbers off you. 16 points, 10 assists, and 3 turnovers. That was the average that your sophomore point guard, Jonathan Jordan, put up over the week's period on Thursday and Saturday. Now, you know, you've asked him to be more aggressive as a scorer, and although he had trouble getting the ball to fall, he did get to the free throw line at least 10 times in each game. That's kind of the plan, isn't it?
Well, and there's more to it than just that. I mean, it's not about Jonathan and his numbers. It's about how his numbers affect everybody else. And that's what we're beginning to see with John Jordan. When he gets into the paint, he has this ability to not only create shots for himself, but to find others. And he makes scoring opportunities for Nate Maxey, and those are huge, huge momentum plays because they're typically alley-oop, lob dunks. And that's just the fact of the matter. And when he's kicking it out to the perimeter, he's kicking it out to one of our shooters that has an opportunity to get a wide open look. And it's demoralizing to the defense when you have a player of his caliber that can do those sorts of things. The truth is, I think John has struggled to score the ball at a higher percentage in the paint simply because he's a pass-first guy, and the shot becomes the afterthought. And if we can just begin to get him to evolve and really just check down more, look for that alley-oop, look for the kick out, and then just really take his time and know that the opportunity to get the shot is going to be there. I think he's going to have more and more success as the season goes on.
Now, Will Nelson, junior player for you guys, he's a complex character. Now, he's your strongest contributor on the board, averaging about 9 boards per game, but he also can shoot the 3 really well, as he had 5 of 10 over the week. His overall numbers seem to be, you know, kind of based a lot, though, on how he gets to the free throw line. Do you like him more to attack or to hang back and shoot those threes?
Will is an aggressive guy, and it's reflected in his rebounding. The one thing that he does most consistently is rebound the ball, and he has the ability to rebound on both ends. He's a guy that's averaging over 9 rebounds a game, and that in conference play, and that includes a game where he only played 13 to 15 minutes. So when you really average his numbers out per minutes played, those numbers can go up by a rebound, maybe 2 even. And so he is productive in that area, and that's an aggression thing. And what we've really tried to focus in on with Will, we need him to be in an attack mode. And in the last couple of basketball games, we've seen him make plays consistently that we haven't seen all year long. Drives to the rim for dunks, drives to the rim to shoot floaters, getting in the paint, getting defenses off balance, and drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. An aggressive inside-out attitude is what our team needs. That's how we play our best basketball. That's what we thrive on. When we're doing that, it's seamless and it feels good to everybody because everybody is involved with the ball movement and the screening and the cutting and contributing to the success of the play. And so that's what we're really trying to emulate. And Will and John are both big parts of that because they're two guys. And I'd be remiss if I didn't throw Hamid Ali in there, because when he's going to the rim, going to the basket and kicking out and shooting his pull-up jumper, he really, really adds a dimension to our team that makes it hard for opponents to guard.
Tell me about what a win can do for a team's psyche, their confidence, and ultimately their overall attitude.
Well, it can do a lot. We've gotten better. People that have been at the games and people that have followed our team closely have seen the progress. And so we're at a point right now of the season where coming home, playing a tough opponent in Oral Roberts as our next outing, we can really take advantage of this momentum and believe in the things that we do. And it's kind of a cliche in coaching, do what you do. But when you watch NFL football, for example, the teams that are playing this time of year in the playoffs and having success, they do what they do. They don't fudge. They don't try to go away from the things they do. Okay, it's going to be up to you to try to stop what we do and then play off the counters from there. And we want to play that sort of brand of basketball, inside out, attacking, protecting on both sides of the ball, Stephen. Protecting the nail, protecting the split line, not allowing people to get easy baskets at the rim. The one thing that we've got to do a much better job of is rebound the basketball. But if we're able to do that, it really, really changed the dynamic of our team. And now we're at a point where instead of maybe winning a game by 4 or losing by 5, we can win by 7 or we can win by 12. And that's the next step for this team.
Coach, let the viewer inside a little bit right here. As the Lamar game was underway and you had an 11-point halftime lead, the Cardinals came out and put on a 9-0 run, cut things to 2 immediately. You take a timeout at that point. What were the magic words? Because coming out of the timeout, your team responds with a 13-2 run of their own.
The magic word is process.
Yeah.
Are we doing things the way we're supposed to be doing them? Are we doing things the Islander way? And when our guys think of that, well, let me just pause for a second. If you back up 3-4 weeks ago, if we would ask that question, our guys didn't really know how to capture that thought. What does process look like for us? It's John Jordan driving that ball hard to the rim and looking for his options, looking for kickouts, looking for those lob passes that he throws to our bigs. It's getting the ball to the second and third and fourth side and really making the defense work side to side a couple times so that we can set up our scores. It's shots coming out of our offense. That's what wasn't happening on the offensive side early in that half. On the other side, it starts with pressure in the basketball, active hands and feet, not reaching but playing for deflections. It starts with protecting the nail, that free throw line area, protecting the rim. When we made that adjustment, we went on a nice run at the end of the basketball game, and it was the difference in the outcome.
You talk about adjustments, and sometimes the adjustments happen in a game, sometimes the adjustments happen over a season. But the way you're managing minutes, have you shortened the bench, or has kind of the bench shortened you a little bit?
Well, we started games so poorly that it's really kind of taken that out of the hands of the coaching staff to be able to manipulate the game the way we want to play it. We've got some guys that are probably playing too many minutes. Right now, we really, really need to get more minutes for Cole Martinez and for Jelani. Those guys are guys that can help our basketball team. They're the guys that are going to be the future of our basketball program.
One last thing, Coach. Coming home means, another tough, interesting week as one of the preseason conference favorites, and Oral Roberts, as you mentioned earlier, comes to town. They, along with Central Arkansas, are your next 2 opponents. What do we know about the Golden Eagles and the Bears?
Well, they're talented. Both those teams are very talented. They possess big guys that are playmakers that can determine the outcome of the game. We've got to use our guards to control the tempo of the game. We've got to use our offense and our defense to control the tempo of the game. And then we've got to selectively do a good job on their key guys, on their best players. They're both very well coached basketball teams, playing with a little bit of momentum and confidence. And so if we can just continue to do the things that we do and really honor the way that we want to play, I think we can have success on this homestand.
Well, the Islanders pick up the win against Lamar on the road in conference play. They'll come back for 2 this upcoming week, Oral Roberts and Central Arkansas. Winning is nice, and hopefully the first one leads to the second, the third, the fourth, and so on and so on.
Well, this is a team that has a stage set for us to do good things down the stretch, and hopefully that's what we're going to see the second half of the season.
Coach Willis Wilson joining us here. Islanders Insider coming your way from the locker room this week. Coach, I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Stay with us when we come back. We're going to talk some Islanders baseball. Very unique opportunity has come their way this season. We'll We'll tell you more about that when we return here on Islanders Insider. Welcome back to Islanders Insider as we come to you today once again from the locker room. We talk some Islanders basketball, but let's talk a little baseball right now with Mike Olivares, our field correspondent, with a special announcement.
Spring is headed our way, and the Islanders Athletic Department received some exciting news for the upcoming baseball season.
Hey, we're excited to announce a really cool event today. We're announcing an exhibition game with the Corpus Christi Hooks versus the Texas A&M Corpus Christi Islanders.
We asked Islanders Athletic Director Scott Lazenby just how big an event this is.
This is just like us bringing in a major basketball program to play in the American Bank Center. We get to actually play the Hooks at their stadium, which is a professional team. You know, that's a huge, major thing for us. You know, it's big in recruiting, and it'll help Coach Malone to show recruits that, hey, you know, you get to come in and play against professional athletes. You know, you get that opportunity, which for a lot of kids, they never have that opportunity.
Corpus Christi Hooks Vice President and General Manager Michael Wood gave insight on the relationship between the Hooks and Islanders and what his hopes are for this special event.
Yeah, you know, we've had such a great relationship with the Islanders for really all of our existence. It's just been a natural fit, so we thought, man, this would be kind of an interesting way to change it up a little bit, add to the relationship, and make it a unique deal. We're hoping it's going to be an event for all Corpus Christi baseball fans. You know, you've got the Hooks component, you've also got the Islanders component. It's going to be an opportunity for everyone to come out, so we want to make it a big event for everybody.
We asked what benefits come with playing an exhibition game such as this.
We'll have a lot of fans out there that night that have never seen us play. You know, that could get them, you know, pardon the pun, but hooked on our program too, to where it might get them, you know, excited about Islanders baseball, to where, you know, the Hooks aren't playing and we're playing. They'll come to campus to see our team play and get to come on campus, see what we have out there, since we're kind of a little bit out of town, you know, out on the island. It gets more people out there to see us and see what we have to offer, and we'll get them involved more with our university and our program.
You know, any head coach is always looking for growth, looking to see his program get bigger, get stronger. Being able to come over here, play this game, it's a huge visibility game. Because of the combination of the Islanders and Hooks working together and a chance to put our student athletes on the field in front of that kind of crowd, but to be able to do it right here in our backyard is huge for us. It's huge for the athletic department, and obviously it's big for our university.
Michael Wood let us know how important he believes it is to keep Whataburger Field open to the community.
What we've tried to do from the very beginning is make it open and available to as many amateur teams. You know, we've played over 80 high school games here. We've had, like I mentioned before, a number of Islanders games. We've had Texas A&M Kingsville play out here. We've had other college teams play out here. So we want to make it as available as we can, because we know the facility is such a high-level facility that's it's a really point of pride for the city. It'll be on Wednesday, April 3rd, 7:05 p.m., and we're really looking forward.
With Islander Insider, I'm Michael Olivares.
Welcome back to Islanders Insiders. We come to you from the locker room today. Coach Royce Chadwick joins us this time, head coach of Islanders women's basketball. Coach?
Stephen, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Doing okay. How are you doing? Again, a couple different kinds of games this past week. 2 road games, one at McNeese State, and then, of course, traveling to Lamar to follow. Different types of games for your team. McNeese, a little bit of a struggle, but in Lamar, that was a battle.
Well, against McNeese, I didn't think we really came out with the intensity that you have to have on the road to win. And we had a lot of heart-to-hearts after that game about the way that we played and the way we represented and the things that we did. And I thought against Lamar, we came back and bounced back and had one of our better defensive games. We're just not a real prolific offensive basketball team. You know, we go to the free throw line, and if we shoot above 50%, it was a relatively good night. And that's just something that, you know, we keep working on and we have to change. But offensively, we were a little bit better against Lamar, but our defense was, I thought, extremely enthusiastic. We were diving on the floor, trying to make plays, and we had our chances in that game.
Was there a meeting of the minds after the McNeese game? Because in Lamar, they really came out strong, especially on the defensive side.
Well, we did a couple of things. We changed some of our starters. We gave everybody a role for that game and said, this is your role. It may not be the role that you have envisioned for yourself, but for this game, this is what it is. And we took some defensive challenges and laid them on a couple of different players, and I thought they responded exceptionally well. We took some offensive pressures off of some of our players and said, look, you just be a rebounder and you know, be a screener for us offensively, and we'll be real selective with your shots, and we'll try to help you get your shooting percentages up there, and we'll try to help you do the things that you need to do to help our team, and I thought it worked out very well for us.
Going into that game, Lamar had 10 wins, and they had 3 conference wins already. But you held them to 15 points in the first half. Just an unbelievable defensive effort. You were actually ahead at the half, 17-15, 2-point lead. But in the second half, Lamar opens up with, well, I believe it was a 13-0 run. Team could have folded things up right then, but they did not. Ultimately tied the game with just over 3 minutes to go.
We're in a situation where the first 5 minutes of the second half generally tells who wins a basketball game, and we came out and they jumped on us and put some pressure on our guards, and we didn't respond very well. We made a couple of changes and got ourselves back into our offense, and we made that push and got back in the basketball game. I think with a minute to go, the score was tied, or it was a 3-point game, and we had the basketball, and we ran a special play to try to get us a good look, and we got the 3 off. Unfortunately, it just didn't go down, but I thought we played very good as a team. I thought we took a step forward. These are steps that I think you have to take when you have a program that's not experienced a lot of success. You have to learn how to win a close game, and it's the hardest thing in the world because all of the pressure is now on individual players, and if they've not come through in the past, then they have a hard time ever breaking through. But once you break through and you realize, hey, we can execute and we can win this game down the stretch, then it becomes old hat. And we're not to that point yet, but for us to get to the chance with Lamar to win the basketball game and have that opportunity is a huge step forward for us.
Now, in the game against Lamar, we saw a lot of Trisha Ambery, a lot of Imani Dunn. She played in that contest. Now, everybody gets an opportunity normally in your system. You rotate a lot of people through. But how do you devise your plan for minutes? As you said, you changed some things up for this game. Is it a plan, or is it really a coach by feel, basing things maybe on effort put forth?
Well, I think we do a little bit of everything, Stephen. We go in with a plan, but there are times when you can never predict with a 19-year-old young lady how her game is going to be that night. You know, you have girls that come out and they're relatively consistent, and you know what to count on. You're going to get this from them. There are girls that are up on Tuesday, down on Wednesday, and sometimes you can't tell from warm-up what they're going to be. You have to put them out there and let them go. But there's an old saying in basketball that you play the people who are performing, not the ones with the potential to perform. And I think we've been guilty of that a little bit in playing people that we thought had the potential to be good in the long run. We need to play the people that are playing good tonight. And that was our focus for the Lamar game. We were going to play the people that were defending. If you played defense, you got to stay in the game. If you didn't defend, you didn't get to play. I don't care what your offense was doing. And you know, I thought we did one of our better jobs as a team of playing a complete game that game.
Coach, define this team's character.
Well, I think resiliency is the number one thing. You know, they're like a bamboo pole. You know, they bend in ways you wouldn't think they could bend, and then they always pop right back. So we've learned a lot of things about adversity. We've learned a lot of things about what it takes to be a character individual. And you know, when you're going through what we're going through, you are certainly defined by the way you handle what you're dealt, and we haven't been dealt a plethora of talent. We haven't been. I mean, you look at our free throw shooting. I mean, we can't shoot 50% from the free throw line. And I had an old coach tell me once, you recruit free throw shooters. If they can't shoot free throws in high school, when they get to college, they're not going to be able to shoot free throws. Don't think you're going to change a shooter's aspect of the game. And so, you know, we have to go out and get every point we can get, find ways to get 1 or 2 extra points, but anybody can defend. And that's what we're really focused on, trying to play good team defense, and that just takes heart, character, and desire.
Tell us about the upcoming games this week. Central Arkansas coming up on Saturday, but on Thursday, Oral Roberts comes to town. Well,
I really think it's the hardest pair of games that you have, simply because Oral Roberts can score. If Oral Roberts gets in the 60s and 70s, we're going to be in big trouble. You know, they have prolific talent. They have people who, when you put the ball in their hands, they can beat you 1-on-3. And then you have Central Arkansas, who is a tremendous defense. They play together. They play hard. They've got great athletes, and they're going to stop you from scoring. So, you know, it's really a tale of two different types of teams, but in my opinion, they are the two toughest teams that you have to face back to back.
Challenging week coming up.
Yes, it is.
Coach, I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephen.
Coach Royce Chadwick joining us once again here in the locker room. When we come back with Islanders Insider, we'll bring you up to speed on the upcoming schedule for Islander men's and women's basketball, as well as other athletic sports taking place this week. Stay with us. Islander Insider continues. Welcome back to Islanders Insider. We appreciate you joining us once again here in the locker room and want to thank the coaches once again for joining us. But right now, let's get you up to speed on what's coming up this week for Islanders athletics. On January 17th, Thursday night, Oral Roberts comes to town in doubleheader action for Islanders men's and women's basketball. The women's game will start at 5, with the men's game starting at approximately 7:30. On January 18th, track and field gets underway in the spring semester as they head to McNeese State to compete in indoor track. That's an all-day event. Then on January 19th, doubleheader action continues again with basketball at the American Bank Center as the Central Arkansas Bears come to town. 12 o'clock start for the Islander women with an approximate 2:30 start for the men, once again at the ABC. Then on January 19th as well, men's tennis will start off their spring campaign as they travel to New Mexico State, 2 o'clock start there. Then on the 21st, they'll head to New Mexico. That's a 5 o'clock start as men's tennis gets their season underway. January 24th, doubleheader action continues for basketball as the teams go on the road to Thibodaux, Louisiana at Nichols State. 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. Then on January 26th, they'll head to Hammond, Louisiana to face Southeastern Louisiana, with the women taking the court at 2 o'clock, the men at 4:30. We want to thank everybody once again for tuning into Islanders Insider this week. We want to thank the coaches, Royce Chadwick and Willis Wilson, for joining us once again here in the locker room. And want to thank Scott Lazenby, Scott Malone, and everybody involved in Islanders baseball with their tremendous announcement this week. I'm Stephen King. For everybody involved, you've been watching Islanders Insider. Good day.